I absolutely love that there is a natural way to be able to relax, but you know what? Sometimes my wallet doesn't love it, but luckily Value Sesh is there for you because you can sesh for less with their rabbit hole gummies. They are packed with D9. You can get that relaxing feeling without killing your bank account. You know what? Tony tried these himself. He absolutely loved them. We cannot wait to try them, but you can try them at even further of a discount than what they normally are at. If you use the code SCAREDY at valuesesh.com, you can get 25% off of this and be able to relax with the Scaredy crew. So make sure to go get yours. And you know what? We're going to tell you what we think. So make sure to let us know what you think in the comments.
Do you want to celebrate indie artists and the macabre? It's time to discover culture shock apparel. From cryptids to the supernatural and retro pulp art styles, our unique designs dive into the eerie and mysterious. Each shirt is silk screened in-house, ensuring top quality and made from the softest, most comfortable materials. Stand out with one-of-a-kind art, support your local indie community, and embrace the strange with Culture Shock Apparel, where dark art comes to life. CultureShockApparel.net.
Welcome to Scaredycast.
Welcome to Scaredycast, presented by Evil Izzy's Haunted Emporium.
Haunted Emporium, Evil Izzy's. It's the best place to get your costumes, especially makeup effects, whether it be cute or ghouly. Get the makeup. They got contact lenses, latex appliances.
They also have like cool shirts and stuffed animals and all kinds of fun little candies and props and fun little knickknacks, paddywhacks.
It's the best goddamn spooky store in all of Arizona.
We love Evil Izzy's and
Evil Izzy loves you.
Just a heads up before we really dive into this episode. About a half an hour ago, Brian and Kelsey both consumed a rabbit hole gummy from Value Sesh. So
Brian took a full one. I've taken a quarter,
I was also smoking before this.
Well,
I would say like one.
so we got a couple Cheech and Chong in here.
You got a half. So
You're gonna be
but-
like Cheech and
you
Chong.
I did half of a half.
Up in smoke whenever he's like, "How's my driving?" And he's like, "I think we're parked, man."
Gummies scare me,
And he's
so
like,
I
"What?"
gotta.
Me too.
Gotta
I
see.
also I didn't eat lunch today. So
Oh no!
if I could fly, dude, I'm gonna be singing "Reading Rainbow" and just soaring with LeVar Burton in space.
That sounds great. I would love
in
that.
the sky.
Take a look.
It's in a book.
Reading Rainbow.
I can go
Man.
anywhere.
All right. Focus.
God, dude, just to be a kid again,
I
have that
know,
lineup back in my life.
No,
To a Reading Rainbow, Mr. Rogers. 3, 2, 1, contact. Remember that shit?
What?
Don't worry about it. Everybody who's old as hell knows what I'm talking about.
I know Mr. Rogers, but I didn't know what that contact one was.
Yeah, dude, see, deep cut.
Star Trek?
Little PBS deep cut.
Yeah, which one? What is it?
3, 2, 1, contact.
Oh, I don't know what that is.
Well,
Do you ever watch Zoom?
What?
Come on and Zoom. Did you ever watch that on PBS?
or Zoobly Zoo.
Nope. How about Zaboomafoo?
It's a boomafoo. Courtney would watch that.
We had a lot more
my big-
Zubu stuff
my
than I thought we
Yeah,
would.
we
Good
did.
for
Couch.
us. Good for us.
Remember
you
that?
watch
There's
my
that,
big comfy couch?
why you watched Xanadu.
That's a song by ABBA.
What's
ABBA.
that one singer? Her name is Susha or something, right?
Wow. What?
Susha.
No, Kesha.
Kesha. Well, there was Susha too.
Oh, Shakira.
Oh. A Chicago.
Usher.
A Chicago.
Oh, Jesus, man. Don't do that. You know I had a gummy, jerk.
We'll be in Chicago at the end of November.
Remember
Days of
the
the
end of
Dead.
November because it's the Days of the Dead, and that's where we'll be. Chicago, we come for thee.
For anyone who can't make it to Chicago, we also have a lot of other dates like happening both locally as well as other places. You know, we got Jerome, we got Mesa, Phoenix happening.
How come I'm the one that took the gummy and you're the one over there giggling like a little bitch?
Tony is like, what is that when you're like,
High. Drunk.
no,
Silly.
it's like when you're feeling something from someone else. Oh, like sympathy. You're sympathy high right now.
Ooh, you have sympathy pains?
Sympathy highness. He's like, you can't handle this. Let me just take all of it and put it in my body.
Okay, what are we talking about?
The
don't
guy
know.
from Green Mile.
What?
Oh, the big dude?
Yeah.
R.I.P.
Do we want to start with, you have a cryptid story, right?
You have cryptid news? You said you had a lot of cryptid things.
Okay, I have multiple things here.
But we did recently all go to Frogman. It was put on by According to Seth on Instagram. It was absolutely wonderful. Tony's already reviewed the movie, but all I can say, go back and listen to his review because I absolutely agree with it. This movie was incredible. It has been #1 on Screambox for a long time. Yep. And we were fortunate enough to also be able to hear from the director, Anthony Cousins.
Dude, super nice guy.
He was amazing. And also Seth had such incredible questions during that. All the insight in there was so awesome. Even when they had like a little microphone issue, but they were able to enunciate. There was great audience questions. And it was so fun too because some of the audience were people that were a part of the film or like, the aunt was selling merchandise. Seth's parents were behind us. Yeah. And so being able to like have that, that camaraderie with like some of the scary, some of the funny moments.
Plus we saw a couple people that we recognized.
Yeah. So it was a really, really great, it was a great event. Yeah. So we just want to say thank you and make sure to give @According to Seth a follow because he's been doing some pretty cool stuff.
And check out Frogman on Screenbox because if you like found footage, oh boy, this is a great movie. This is a fantastic movie. Go watch Frogman.
And it's about cryptids.
Oh, and I won a shirt because I won a cryptid quiz.
Oh yeah, you were gonna wear this shirt today.
Well, I knew 4 out of the 5 questions, and no one knew the 2 people that captured the. I guess we call Patty the Patterson Gimlin film footage, and they were like, "Who are the 2 people with full names?" And I was like, "Yeah." I was like,
"Give me something hard."
Yeah, yeah. I was like,
Brian is looking around like,
yeah,
really?
And I was
no
like, does nobody want the T-shirt? I guess I'll take it.
Yeah, he literally was like, I guess I'll take it. Nobody knows.
I mean, nobody wants
like, you know it.
I felt bad because I knew every answer. They were eating.
No,
Seth came up to me
completely like
early.
glossing over what you did.
What did I do?
You were like, what size is that shirt?
Did I say
They're
that?
like, it's an XL, and you're like, oh no, I wear large.
Sorry, guys.
And I was like, fucking just answer the question.
Damn, did I do that?
Yes, and then you went up to the
dickish.
Yeah, and then you went up to the aunt after and was like, I don't wear XLs. This
I did not
really
say
big.
that. That is not what I said. I would never say it like that.
No,
much
you
of an
didn't.
asshole.
But you went
And
up,
when
you
she was
tried
like,
to
we don't
trade it.
have a large, you were
I was
like,
like, okay,
pff,
no
and then you
worries.
just dropped the X on the ground and kicked it under the table.
And then I
bundled it
slapped
up
her.
and you threw
And I
it.
slapped the aunt, and I was like,
With the frogman
and then
lawn.
you took her out to a nice
This
dinner
never
and
happened.
you'll never call
I
her
swear.
again.
You know what? Don't ever talk to Kelsey. Don't ever ask Kelsey anything about Brian because then she's gonna spin some
What are
crazy
all those?
stuff.
Neither of you guys.
Notes, man.
All right,
Notes.
let's get to this story.
I actually. Okay, which one?
I don't know whichever one you
Do
think is the
one.
best.
Just do one for now.
I have tons
we
of
have a
movies
shortened
too.
time.
We have a shortened time? Okay, then I'm gonna do this one. Have you guys ever heard of the Giant of Kandahar?
No.
Yeah. This actually was brought to my attention by my roommate, one of my roommates that was like, hey, dude, you should talk about this. You ever talk about this? And I heard about this forever ago. And this is actually pretty wild that I'm going to show you guys the picture of just what the first picture that pops up. This is pretty nuts.
Dang. He's in like World War II.
Nope. Try again.
World War I.
You're getting
Desert Storm.
getting colder.
Vietnam.
Okay, warmer. No, colder.
Desert Storm.
Korean
Oh no,
War.
the Afghanistan.
Operation Freedom.
Have you seen this before? Is this anything like?
No, I just looked up Kandahar.
He's
Okay.
For
So-
anybody listening right now, he just showed us a picture of like a 10-foot tall looking Bigfoot spearing a soldier and lifting him up off the ground.
Yeah.
While other soldiers just like unloading clips into him. And he's just like, whatever. Get these gnats away from me.
So this is off of the Cryptid Wiki because I was like, oh, this is nice and pretty short and sweet. But basically, this is a occurrence which is apparently still classified by the U.S. government. In 2002, it was a desert in a part of Afghanistan. A special ops task force, branch unknown, possibly Rangers, considering that the missing squad was Army, was sent to find out what had happened. Soldiers walked along a ragged mountainous trail until arriving at the entrance of a large cave. Pieces of broken U.S. military equipment and gear were scattered all around the clearing. The task force was about to enter the cave to explore its recesses. A 12 to 15 foot red-headed 6-digit double-toothed humanoid emerged and attacked the soldiers. The giant impaled, Dan is the guy that has the story, with a giant spear and proceeded to attack the rest of the squad. The witness states that it took 30 seconds of continuous fire to down the giant. Between them, the squad was armed with full auto M4 carbines, M107 Barrett anti-material rifles firing 50 cal bullets. This much firepower concentrated on one target for 1 second, let alone 30, would be extremely destructive. Damn. And I will just tell you, a 50 cal, one single bullet, you could miss you by a foot and still tear your arm off.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so whatever this thing was allegedly. I mean, have you played Skyrim?
Yeah.
You know,
I actually just started replaying it the other day.
You're kidding.
I swear to God.
So that's what it actually looks like. It's just a giant, almost, I don't want to say caveman. That's not quite really what it is, but it literally just looks like a giant, kind of hairy person.
What was that, like that insurance commercial that had the caveman? Was it Progressive?
That was Geico.
Geico?
Yeah.
Kind of looks like one of those. Like a
a
Neanderthal.
really, really big one. A little
I feel like this is just some
Neanderthal.
racist propaganda against Afghanis. Like, honestly.
So apparently, according to the witness, the giant wore canvas or animal hide covers to protect its feet like moccasins and smelt like dead bodies. The creature's body was airlifted back to the squad's base by helicopter via net. From there, it was loaded onto an aircraft and taken away, never to be seen again.
Dang.
So
that's crazy.
If it's true and it is classified, I mean, holy shit. Like, what is, a lot of people are saying that, like, hey, this is probably, if it's real, this is just like ancient people that live in caves still that have evolved and survived and whatever. And I'm like, it's in the middle of the desert, so I don't know if I believe that.
Well, but I mean, that was a huge thing with like the actual Afghanistan war where they're saying there's all these caves. Like, it's a crazy system that we don't know. I mean, and think about the Afghan, the desert is so crazy. It's like,
so
it's
vast.
not, it's vast and it's
unbelievably
very
big.
barren. It's not like our desert out here where we have a lot of plants and stuff like that.
So I don't know, but so I think there's been some fiction that's been made on the Giants of Kandahar, and I think like that's like, dude, if that's for real, that's insane. Like,
I'm surprised that. Well, I don't know.
Think about David and Goliath, the most, the popular story of like in the book in the Bible of like the giant and the little guy, and he's slaying the rock at his head and whatever. And it's like, that could validate that if we really find these people that are like 12 to 15 feet tall. And then what does that mean about Bigfoot? Are they even correlated at all? Like, dude, if I mean, who knows? But could you imagine you're just walking around with your freaking rifle and then this 15-foot man impales you with a tree? Oh my God.
That is creepy.
Yeah, it's pretty strange.
Pretty strange.
What are you looking at? You look really focused, Tom.
I'm like looking up David and Goliath real quick.
Oh, why?
I don't know.
Okay.
I just had to check something. I was like,
oh, okay.
David and Goliath.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That was all it was.
That is pretty scary. I mean, war is scary enough, and like being out there in war.
War
never changes.
It's really scary. And then imagine you come out and there's like a cryptid or like a giant Neanderthal, and you're like, what the hell's going on?
Have you seen the camel spiders and stuff that they have to deal with over there?
Yeah, a lot of those pictures are doctored, but actual camel spiders are still really big. They're just not like 3 feet. Like,
but the stuff that they got to deal with, and then on top of like not having water and extreme heat, like
crazy. And then a giant Neanderthal.
Oh my God! Who knows? Maybe there's multiple. Yeah. Maybe there's like a whole freaking civilization in the deserts of Afghanistan, man.
Wow.
Now I want to play Skyrim.
Do it.
I love Skyrim.
Go do it.
Skyrim might be my favorite game of all time.
I mean, it's a solid choice, dude. It's a good RPG.
How about we switch over to some movies?
I'm always down.
I watched a movie called Digging Up The Marrow. Have you heard of this movie? Digging Up The Marrow, directed and starring Adam Green. Same guy who made Hatchet and Frozen. Not that Frozen.
I was going to say.
No.
I was like, wait, what?
I was like, wow. We took a turn there.
No, this Frozen is about the kids that get stuck on the ski lift and then the ski resort shuts down.
I saw that movie. I didn't watch it yet, but it's on my list.
My son Calvin says that's the scariest movie he's ever seen. hands down. Yeah, because he's like, this could happen. Like this is real.
So,
like this could happen.
So don't whatever you do not show that kid Final Destination.
Oh, he's watched all those. Like,
What, dude? He's never gonna go outside.
So Digging Up the Marrow is like a found footage movie.
Love it.
But it's found footage, but it's documentary style. So Adam Green plays himself in the movie, and like his production companies like featured in and everything. And basically he's talking about how he gets weird fan mail a lot from just anybody. They send them all kinds of things. And he says he got a letter from a guy who claims to have found where monsters are living in the woods. He says that they live underground in an underground city called the Marrow. Oh. And he says these are all people that have been born with deformities and rejected by society.
What a cool idea.
That's where they all go to live, is underground. But he's found where they live, and like he's been documenting them.
Yeah.
And he wants Adam Green to come out to help document what's going
Mole
on.
people.
That sounds sick.
Yeah.
What'd you watch this on?
Yeah, that sounds really good.
Oh my God, what did I watch this on? That's a great question.
Streambox.
I'll look.
I think it was Tubi.
Tubi.
I'm pretty sure it was Tubi.
Okay.
But yeah, they go out there and they start documenting this stuff, and things get crazier and crazier, man.
That sounds like my perfect movie.
It is.
I want
You would
monsters.
love
I
this
want
movie.
yes.
And
yes,
the monsters,
yes.
it reminded me a lot of Nightbreed,
Oh.
where each monster had like its own gimmick.
Nice.
Like there's one monster who has like, it looks like a giant pumpkin head, but like a sack with eyes. And then you find out why it's wearing the sack over itself. And then there's like a little tiny one that's running around. And then I think there's like a giant one at one point. Like it's all like each monster is different. So it's, yeah.
Would you guys be more scared of like a tiny little thing like that running around all quick and you don't always know, or like a giant one that you're like, okay, but I at least can see them coming? Like
Yeah,
they're not
it's
gonna be
like
able to
a tiny
sneak
one.
around. I think
I'm more
I'd-
scared of giant.
I'd be more scared of a tiny one too.
Because just on basic principles of science and math and mass, like that little thing, he ain't getting in here.
You say that now.
But that Bigfoot, he getting in here.
I'm talking about you guys are already in the same spot. It's
But if
already
he's
there.
just
You see it
big,
running
if
around.
we're talking about a big thing, like, nah, dude, you can't stop.
man.
Can't stop that.
I'm sorry. I just flashed back
What?
to Blackbeard's ghost.
God, man.
We're in a new
You were just
episode. We
talking
can't
about
get
you were
away.
talking about he's not getting in here, and I just like remembered there's a scene in Blackbeard's Ghost. If you missed last week's episode, I got a little high and watched an old Disney comedy. The coach like gets really annoyed with Blackbeard. He's like, I'm leaving. That's it. Like he's gonna go stay at a different hotel, and he's like driving down the street. And it's like 60s movie, so it's like a car with a screen behind the movie.
That's just like the same stuff as like.
And he's like, well, that's it. I'm just going to go and stay at another hotel. And all you see is like a rum bottle come up over the seat with a hand on it. And then like Blackbeard sits up in the back seat. Oh my God, Blackbeard. Anyways, yes. Digging Up the Marrow. Did you find out where I watched it? Tubi.
It is Tubi.
Amazing.
I
It was
love
great.
that. I
Yeah.
can't wait to watch that.
How
You'll love
many
it.
little creepy things running around would you rate it?
I'm going to give it 4.
Ooh,
Damn,
okay. 2
really
weeks in a
good.
row with 4 out of
It was a
5.
close 3.5. 3.5, 4.
It does sound good.
Because I didn't really like the ending.
Oh, okay.
It kind of ended a little like,
Meh.
How much you got? You got a story? I mean, you got a movie?
Yeah, I have a documentary.
Ooh. Hit me.
Do
Hit
it.
us.
Okay.
do it again.
So to give you guys some backstory, earlier this year, okay, we were driving here. This was before I picked you up, and then it continued into when.
Okay, this happened-
Yeah,
okay, gotcha.
to when you
Gotcha,
got
gotcha.
picked up. Tony and I, he's like, oh, we're kind of talking some things, and I was like, I actually have a movie that I had texted you guys, and he's like, what is it? And I was like, it's crazy. It's on Netflix. It's this documentary called Lover, Stalker, Killer. And Tony's just like, are you serious?
No.
And I'm like, yeah, it's crazy. It's so good, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, I talked about it on Scaredycast. I'm like, no, you didn't. I'm like, well, if you did, it was a long time ago because I don't remember it. And then I look it up and it came out this year. It came out in 2024. Okay, but we watched.
I
Okay,
sat right here in this room at XYZ Podcast Studios and reviewed it in February.
okay.
Dang.
Yes, and we did prove that. But what we also proved was that you were so generic with it that you literally just were like, I watched this documentary. It's crazy. It's about like a stalker and some other stuff happens. But it's brand new, so I don't want to talk about it. So now I can talk about it more.
There are so many insane twists and turns in it. Like,
crazy.
It's hard to talk about it if you don't want to spoil anything.
Yeah.
Like, you can't just give it like, oh, it's a general this, because it's like...
It's kind of like, it's like trying to explain somebody Game of Thrones when you're 4 seasons in. You're like, I can't even begin with this.
Yeah.
Like, no. Start from the beginning. Like,
but we're going to spoil this time.
Yeah, so there's, if you haven't seen it yet, or if you maybe don't like having spoilers or whatever.
Just skip to when you hear me talking, because then I have reviews coming up.
This movie, this documentary is based off of this guy. He is with this woman for quite a while, like 10 years, still relatively young when this all takes place, in his like 30s. But he leaves his wife and family. They decide to separate. He moves quite far away, and he's there, and he's like, it's been a while.
She moved, and he moved too.
Oh, they both moved?
Yeah, because they're still trying to be there for the kids.
To mend.
So they're like divorced and separated, but
yes,
he moved to where they moved so he could be close to the kids.
Yes,
but they're completely separated, but it's a healthy relationship.
Yeah.
Sure. Yes.
Thank you for that.
Yes.
So he's like, it's been a while. I'm going to put myself out there. And at the time, according to him, Plenty of Fish was the dating site to be on. First day, he's like, I want to get matched. Like, oh my God, I'm so sad. Does no one love me? All this stuff.
Oh my God, after a day?
He gets a match. And they go out, hit it off, seem to have a really good time. They're like seeing each other like consistently, not anything really crazy. Yeah. But it's like, it is what it is. Like, okay, it kind of fizzles out. He ends up he's a mechanic. There's this woman that stops like at his shop. They have like a cute interaction, blah, blah, blah. He kind of forgets about her, sees her pop up on dating apps. It's like hot and heavy for like 2 weeks. He's like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. She just wants to have fun, like not wanting to have anything serious. The first night that they go on a date and they end up at his house, the first woman ends up like buzzing him at his apartment.
The 10-year woman?
No. The first like dating woman.
Oh, yeah.
So there's Lisa, that was the first one. And then he ends up seeing Carrie for like a couple weeks. It's hot and heavy. He's like leaning more towards Carrie. He's not really seeing Lisa. It kind of fizzled out. It played its
Lisa's
part.
old news.
Played its part. But like they're up there no more than a few minutes. And Lisa's like, oh, hey, I left something in your apartment. I need to come up and get it. And he's like, oh, this is awkward. Carrie leaves. She comes up, gets her stuff, whatever. Carrie calls, I am like halfway home. Just come over, spend the night at my house. And they hook up. It's a good time for a couple weeks. Scandalous. Then things start getting crazy. This guy is, at work. They just like has spent the night together for one of the times. Starts getting crazy texts from Carrie, the second lady. Oh. That's been going really, really well. It's like, do you want to move in together? And he says, it's only been 2 weeks. And then she pops off. You ruined my life. I hate you. Like all these crazy things. Tony, he like gets back together with Lisa for a little bit or something like that. Cause he's like, that's getting a little crazy, blah, blah, blah. It keeps escalating to where Lisa's now starting to get texts from Carrie saying like, oh, you're a home wrecker. All these crazy things. And Lisa's like, yeah, it's like, this is getting crazy. It keeps like, the documentary starts with the person that ends up solving or like that was working this case because someone else comes and solves it later. But he was like, he's like, I'm used to stalking stories. And there's a lot of weird things that happens with like stalking. He's like, I've worked a lot of those cases. He's like, this is the strangest case ever. He's like, what you think is happening, it's not even anywhere near like what's happening.
Yeah, like whatever you can imagine, it's 10 times crazier than that.
This movie and this woman is insane. So it keeps going through all these things, and the whole time you're thinking like, this Carrie lady's crazy, but the police cannot find her. He'll be getting texts like, with plain view, there's nothing around, like saying like, I'm watching you, all these different things, blah, blah. And he's like, I can't find her. The police cannot find her. There's no signs of her anywhere. Supposedly she told her family that she got a new job somewhere and like just packed up and left, all this stuff.
Creepy. Ooh, so if you're into like weird stalker, serial killer, psycho movies like that, documentaries, this is real. This is true crime.
This isn't even like
cycle.
chipping off the top of the ice block kind of crazy.
No, this is like
This shit gets crazy. And the thing is that blew my mind about this documentary. There were two things. One is he finally gets out, kind of, away from all this craziness. A couple weeks go by, and what does this asshole do? He's like, let me see what's going on these dating apps.
he said, let me get back on these dating apps and fuck. He's like, you know what? Let me put myself out there again.
Shit that he went through. I wouldn't even use the fucking internet ever again.
I would be so off the
He
grid.
just cuts his landline. He's
God.
like, no.
So
And then he does go back on the internet, and guess what? It all comes fucking back and gets even worse. The other thing, though,
Play stupid games, win
the
stupid
three guys in this documentary who are working on this case. There's like one dude who's like, he's like a hacker kind of guy, and then like another guy, he's like the detective guy. But you know what I'm talking about? Like those three guys?
yes.
They were like, I would watch a show about these three guys forever. Like they were so cool and like just fucking like, they were like, it was like that kind of stuff you see in a movie where like, the sergeant comes in, he's like, I'm taking you off the case. And like the guy's like hell you are. I'm still working on this. I'm gonna get to the bottom of this kind of shit.
They're like
come
complete
on,
opposite
Criggs.
too.
You know you can't handle this case. And it's like, I'm the only one that can do this case. All right.
They're like complete opposites. Like they're amazing.
That's so funny.
Okay, but so this escalates where his apartment's getting broken into, Elisa's apartment's getting broken into. There's threats to their children. There's vandalism. There's all these crazy things that's happening to Lisa and to him. And she's like, you know what? It's starting to involve my kids. Like, I'm done. Like, I'm scared, blah, blah, blah. She like kind of goes away for a couple weeks, but she's still getting like crazy things happening. One time she calls him, like Lisa calls him scared out of her mind. Like, my house is on fire.
Oh,
Her house was set on fire. Her animals die. She has like 5 animals. They all die.
no.
But in one of the interviews that they play back, like when she's like, so what's going to happen now? Like, what's going to happen to Carrie? Blah, blah, blah. Or like whatever. She's like, it's clearly her. And he's like, what about my animals? He's like, well, like, I'm so sad, but like they passed away. She's like, yeah. What's going to happen like next or whatever? Like she just like brushes off. So I'm like, oh, that's a red flag. That's weird. And she also like was outside of the apartment of the guy just when Carrie happened to be there. She is a technology expert. And like she's really good with like phones and this is like kind of the beginning of the internet too. Like it was like way back in the day.
So she worked at Radio Shack.
And supposedly Carrie,
Circuit City.
Supposedly Carrie, the one that's like doing all this crazy stuff, was like sending mean messages to her mom too, which was very out of character.
Elisa's mom or Lisa's?
To her own mom.
Her own mother.
Yes. So there's all these things that is like, what is happening? This is so weird.
It's like at the end of one episode, you're like, oh, wow, it's definitely Lisa. And then like the next episode, you're like, oh, no, it's Carrie doing this. And then you're back like the next episode, like, there's Lisa doing it, not Carrie. And then
this
it's like, and then it's like, wait, this sounds like a completely different random third person might be involved in this. Like,
oh my God.
It is insane. I won't give the biggest twists and like all this stuff, but it definitely is worth, if you're into like those types of documentaries, it is worth
everybody
the
loved
watch.
Tiger King. Is this more interesting and better than Tiger King?
I would say the entertainment value is different.
yeah. I
Like
mean,
Tiger King is like just for crazy, weird.
But this sounds pretty crazy.
But it's a more serious, like crazy. It's like more psychological, like
Twisted.
true crime.
Oh, okay. There you go.
Yeah.
True crime. It is true.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
this was way more serious than Tiger King. Tiger King was like, look at this guy.
I thought it was just a documentary about like a true story kind of, I don't know, maybe
It is, yeah. It's like a true crime, true story.
Oh, okay.
And that guy's a fucking idiot. I bet he's on Hinge right now as we talk, little idiot.
He's probably back on.
God, he's so
involved
dumb.
in something.
I'm like, are you that desperate?
Dude, the moment he got back on those dating apps, I was like, dude,
I'm like, fuck
what
that. I literally, I said
doing?
out loud, I was like, you deserve everything that comes to you after this.
Oh, yeah.
You're
dude.
a fucking idiot.
Oh, yeah.
Ugh, anyways. But yeah, it was pretty good. I would give it 4 out of 5 stalkers.
Nice.
4 out of 5
Brian, you have a
stalker
bunch
guys.
of movies over there.
I do. Do we
Fire
have
away.
time? Is it? Here we go. Here we go.
You got a good 12-minute.
Like, time me.
All right.
Here we go. I'm
Here
gonna
we
go
go.
for a solid
First movie.
12. I gotta
First movie. Go.
No, you know what I want? I got 4. Oh no, I'm gonna skip that one. You said not to say The Whale. I saw The Whale. Brendan Fraser, incredible actor. The ending, Oh, just annoying. Just annoying.
No.
I could go into it, but it's not horror.
Still love you, Brendan Fraser.
Maybe, yes, I do. And maybe, I don't know, if anyone cares about my full review of The Whale, maybe I'll put it on
I will say,
Patreon.
to bring it back into some horror a little bit. Remember how, like, leading into the Oscars with this movie and everything, how he was going to win Best Actor and everybody, like, the hype around Brendan Fraser.
It was like, duh, of course
The fact
he is.
that Universal did not jump on this and be like, guys, we're rebooting, we're bringing back The Mummy, and Brendan Fraser's back, is like
what were you thinking?
the biggest ball drop I've
Mummy
ever seen.
3, we need it. We need it. With Rachel Weisz, too, because she is.
4? Mummy 4?
Mummy 4, we need it.
Already
As more than we need in Mummy 3.
Didn't 3 have Jet Li in it after he had already said he retired from making movies?
Yes.
And then I was like, wait a minute, he's like the Pharaoh King. This is bullshit.
Jet Li.
Yeah, I remember that. You're right. Oh,
What?
you're right. It is 4 now. That's okay.
Well, we need it.
All right.
Give it to her.
There's been a movie in the last couple months that's been making its rounds on TikToks and Reels and all sorts of things. It's called Infested.
Ooh.
It has a picture of this person like screaming and spiders coming in and out of their mouth.
I
Okay.
started watching it. I didn't finish it.
Okay, so that movie been blowing up because people are like, obviously, if you hate spiders, don't watch this effing movie because it is chock full of them, baby, which can confirm. The only thing I will say I disliked about this movie is right away. Have you guys seen Eight-Legged Freaks?
Yes.
Have you seen Tremors?
Yeah. Oh, God, yes.
Have you seen Starship Troopers?
Yes.
Okay.
I sent many Starship Trooper gifts today.
Right, I knew you already did, but that's rhetorical, right? Just shut the no, I'm just kidding.
I mean,
but you know how these creatures in the movies, there's almost a personality to them.
Yeah.
Like they might run up and then like scream, and then like someone's like, oh, and then has to kill it or whatever. Like, or or maybe one gets shot and it reacts to something. Like they have different noises or something.
Okay.
In this movie, they're just spiders.
Yeah.
They're just spiders. They don't screech. They don't jump. They don't attack you and click their mandibles. They don't make any noise.
It's not like arachnophobia.
Here's the thing. There's a shit ton of spiders. Don't get me wrong. These things end up, spoiler alert, taking over, well, not only a spoiler, they take over the entire apartment complex. Oh. The entire thing becomes this massive, horrible, just nightmare of spiders. Now, the thing is that makes them supernatural is like, I guess they can reproduce like super, super, super quick. So these things are just shitting more babies and they're shitting more babies and it's insane. God. Yeah. And they also rapidly grow to like the size of like a small to medium dog. So like the spiders get about this big.
Like a multi-poo?
No. Multi-poo is like
a
multi-poo. A little bit bigger.
Like a corgi.
A little bit bigger.
Like a cattle dog.
English
like a cattle
It's
dog.
like this.
Like a cattle dog.
Yeah. Like a big old fatty English bulldog.
Okay.
Except with 8 legs.
Oh, okay.
So
Cute.
there is this guy, he's a collector of these exotic animals. He gets this cool spider and is like, oh, sweet. It gets out. It starts this massive thing. And oh man, it is crazy. But the thing is, people blew this movie up. Like, even if you don't like spiders, or even if you don't care about spiders, this movie, oh my God, it'll mess you up. And I was like, bring it on, baby. I want spiders crawling out of faces and eye sockets and all this nasty. I'm like, bring it on. Give me that. Yeah. And
Didn't do any of that?
no. I was like, okay, yeah, they're spiders. That's what they do. But they didn't do anything. They didn't.
That's too bad, because have you seen the movie Ants?
Yeah. No, wait. The cartoon one?
Was Sylvester Stallone?
Yeah, the one like where they
The
like
cartoon?
No. Oh no. I'm pretty sure there's this other movie called Ants, like where it's about these killer ants. They can basically eat a moose in like 5 minutes. It's crazy. Well, anyways, when I was little, that movie scared me.
I don't blame you.
Because like they were like these crazy things that were like almost superhuman, like
kind of like
supernatural.
the Beatles and the Mummy. The
yeah,
scary
exactly.
Beatles.
So that's why I was
How about
expecting that
Scorpion
to
King?
be.
Remember? They bury that guy with his head and
so
then
technically,
the fire ants?
I think that's the 4th Mummy movie, so...
Yeah, hey, there you go. Wait, really?
5,
That's
yeah.
not canon, is it? Scorpion
Yeah.
King and the Mummy?
Yes.
Get out.
This guy over here.
Wow, cool.
The Scorpion King was in the Mummy too.
I love this. I only saw the first Scorpion King and the first Mummy.
And the Scorpion King movie was a prequel.
I didn't
Shows
know that.
how he became the Scorpion
There
King.
you go. Incredible. Now I have to rewatch him. Okay, so Infested. Kind of disappointed because
How many spiders are you going to
the
give
world blew it up. 4 out of 5.
Well, 4 to 5 is really good.
Yeah, but I will say it did not live up to the hype. And I'm
okay.
very disappointed because I thought it was going to be really, really good, but it was just a spider movie.
All right. What's
Wasn't
next?
that great? Next one, we have In Fear.
In Fear.
In Fear.
In Fear.
Almost positive that one was on Amazon Prime as well.
In Fear Red.
There is a very nice young Irish boy, an Irish lad,
Yeah?
and he's got a girlfriend of 2 weeks.
All right.
And she's very pretty. And they are driving to this place to go meet some friends. But the boyfriend says, "Hey, I got us a little hotel for a night. Maybe we could just, meet up with our friends tomorrow. Let's not go to the bonfire now. Let's do that tomorrow. I got us a hotel." Okay. Talks her into it, whatever. So they go to this, they're driving, they're trying to find this hotel, and they see a sign and go, "Oh, make a left." Okay, cool. And make a right. Okay. Eventually they're like, "Dude, this is taking forever. What the hell? It's getting dark. We should have been there hours ago." Mm-hmm. Somebody's moving the signs. Oh. Somebody's moving them. And
Somebody's
now they're going
putting them in
circles.
In fear.
And now they're going, okay, this is weird. We keep seeing the same house. They keep pulling up to the same house. And then one time, there's a person there. Mm. And then things get pretty crazy. They decide to go to a pub, much like, actually, this movie is very reminiscent of the beginning scenes of American Werewolf in London. They're on the moors, and it's very rainy, just like that. They stop at a pub that doesn't go well. The pub is, kind of shuns them. It's very much like that, minus werewolves, obviously. But holy shit, man. I will say, and I will give you, this is the only hint or spoiler-ish thing, is this shows you just how much of a monster that people can be.
Damn.
So it keeps you in suspense a lot. Pretty good. I would say I was more excited at the beginning, and then by the end was or I kind of dipped toward the middle, and then toward the end I was like, all right, pretty good. So I'm gonna give it a solid 3 out of 5. It has a little bit of humor, some crazy twists, and one really messed up way to die at the very end. And I was like, oh, that's sad. Crazy. And I would love to tell you guys it, but I don't want to spoil it because it's kind of a spoiler. So then the last one I watched, this one was just last night.
Can you do this one in 3 minutes?
You got it. Idle Hands, baby.
Yes!
Our boy, Devin Sawa. We love him. Oh my God, what a movie. Okay, if you guys have seen Grandma's Boy, if you guys have seen the Pineapple Express, the stoner movies, this was 90s, man. It has The Offspring in it. The actual band. Mm-hmm. The lead singer gets his scalp torn off.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
Got Jessica Alba.
Oh my God, young as hell Jessica Alba. Okay, so real quick, it's a super teeny 90s stoner movie. It's got Seth Green. It's really dumb, stupid stoner humor. So if you're not into it, pass on this one. But real quick, Devin Sawa has a cursed hand that wants to kill and choke and grab weapons and kill people. And so he's forced to cut his own hand off, but then the hand escapes. And it's doing bad stuff, and he's trying to stop it. It's crazy. It's kooky. It's weird. There's a lot of weed. 4 out of 5, dude. Damn. It was great. Idle Hands was so fun. Yeah. It was so horribly 90s, and I loved it. And the soundtrack.
Mm-hmm. Dude, 90s soundtracks were just
Dude, it's the perfect banger movie too. Just the hairstyles and this everything, the jokes. I mean, they make fun of I bet they just listen to a bunch of Jewel and Hanson. And I was like, nice. Yeah. 90s as hell. Yeah. Dude, it's so good. Anyways, Idle Hands, loved it. And yeah, I watched, I think that was 5 movies I think I got.
Yeah.
So I'm trying. I'm doing good.
Thank you guys for listening to Scaredycast this week. Make sure you go to patreon.com/Scaredycast to check out what else we got. Go to scaredycast.com for tour dates, show dates, live events, everything you can possibly imagine is on there probably.
Also, check out all of our sponsors and stuff we've been talking about, Rabbit Hole Gummies from Value Sesh.
Go to valuesesh.com and enter code SCAREDY to get 25% off some Rabbit Hole Gummies. Make sure you visit cultureshockapparel.net for some spooky t-shirts.
And we have like 2 more.
Who we got?
We had the cryptid segment brought to you by Electric Terror 666.
That was last week.
Oh.
Oh, I thought it was both
But
weeks.
hell with it.
Hell with it. Why not, dude? Hell
Do
yeah.
it, dude.
Hell yeah. What was my other thing? There was another one. Hold on. There's one more. There's one more.
Evil Izzy's Haunted
Evil
Emporium.
Izzy's. Duh. Yeah.
All right, love you guys. Bye.